Good morning, students. Today we are going to do some questions from Capgemini recruitment as conducted for year 2021 upcoming batch that would come up the next year. For them joining into the company, an online test was conducted. Talking about the sections that are included for Capgemini, so there is a essay writing portion where you'll have to test your verbal skills. Then there is a section for gamified aptitude where they give some questions based on puzzles, and then there is a portion for logical and quants analysis. Quants is quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning. Accordingly, they're going to be assessing you on different portions and different questions that they ask throughout the paper. Now, important thing about this is the difficulty level. The overall analysis of difficulty level of the paper is it is somewhere between easy to moderate. The questions are not very difficult. Some questions are of moderate level, some most of the questions are going to be on an easy level only. Today's objective is going to discuss the paper that has come up this year and some of the questions from the quants portion. We are going to discuss them. We will see the questions, how to solve them, and most of the questions are going to be easy. And these questions have come up in set A of the Capgemini test. The exam was actually conducted in different sets in different on different days, so that is why we have different sets for the paper. Okay. First question that had come up on the paper was P, Q, R, and S are distinct integers that can take values from 1 to 12. What is the possible smallest value for P upon Q plus R upon S? Smallest possible value we need. So I'm going to go with respect to options only. We're going to check for the option what the value is, and accordingly we'll have the answer. Okay, if I talk about option A, on taking the LCM and solving comes out to be 35 upon 132. Approximately equal to 0.2651. I'm taking up to 4 decimal spaces so that I have a proper idea of what it is. Now, next, this is 109 divided by 1110 comes out to be 0.9909. Okay, smallest possible I need, not the largest possible. Next, if we solve, comes out to be 34 upon 132, approximately equal to the first one only, 2575. Now, option number D, 21 upon 110 comes out to be 0.1902. So each of the other option other than D, it's greater than zero point 0.2. Smallest value therefore becomes my option D. My answer is option D. Next, if all the numbers from 11 to 100 are written on a piece of paper, how many times will the number 4 occur? I need how many times 4 is going to occur. So 4 will come up only one time when it is between 11 to 19. 11 to 19 it is going to come up only one time. It will come up in 14. Now, similarly, it will appear only one time for 20 to 29, then 30 to 39, 40 to 49, and so on until 90 to 100 if we talk about. So every time it is going to come up one more time only. So this is going to be 10 times. But if I talk about 40 to 49, this range is special because here I'll be having 44 also. 44 has two fours. So total number of fours in the range of 20 to 29 going up to 100. I have 11 fours. Here I'll be having 11 fours. Okay. 11 fours already figured out. So total number of fours becomes, total number of fours is 11 times here it is, so total number of fours used becomes 8. Total number of fours if we talk about, here I'm going to have to calculate it 8 times when it is 20 to 29, 30 to 39, then just leave about this range 40 to 49, 50 to 59 if we talk about just once, 60 to 69 just once, all of that it will be 8 times. But if I talk about 40 to 49, here it will come 10 times plus one time it is going to be there in, one more will be there in 44 because 44 actually has two fours. So this total range, just this range of 40 to 49 contains 11 fours. Total number of fours therefore becomes 11 plus 8. That is, there are going to be 19 fours. Total number of fours becomes 19. My answer is 19. Okay. Now, next question. In how many ways a cricketer can score a double century, 200 runs with only boundaries and over boundaries? Boundaries and means 4s and over boundaries means 6. So I have to score 200 runs using only 4s and 6s. Only 4s and 6s how you can score, we're going to do that way. So we have to draw a table. So number of 4s and number of 6s will be suggesting. Number of, if it is just only 4s, it is going to be 54s and 0 6s. Next, 47 4s and 2 6s. 44 4s and 4 6s. So I'll observe that as this goes on, the last term, every time a number of 4 decreases by 3 and number of 6 increases by 2. Last term here will be, I'll have 2 4s and I'll have 32 6s. Last term is going to be 32 6s. So in total, there are going to be 17 ways. In total, there are going to be 17 ways. All these ways, when we count out, it is going to be 17 ways. But I need both 4s and 6s. So this first way where it is 54s and no 6s, this cannot be used. So I'm going to have 17 minus 1, that is 16 ways in which double century can be scored using 4s and 6s only. So my answer becomes B, 16. Next, what is the remainder when 2 into 8 factorial minus 21 into 6 factorial? It is divided by 14 into 7 factorial plus 14 into 13 factorial. This is going to be my divisor and this is going to be my dividend. When this number divides the other number, so dividend is clear, dividend has to be clear. Let's simplify the divisor first. So 2 into 8 factorial minus 21 into 6 factorial. I'm going to write it this way. I'm going to make it 2 into 8 into 7 factorial. I have just written 8 factorial as 8 into 7 factorial minus 3 into 7 into 6 factorial. Now, 7 into 6 factorial is 7 factorial. So this becomes 3 into 7 factorial. This becomes 16 into 7 factorial. 16 into 7 factorial minus 3 into 7 factorial becomes 14 into 7 factorial. This is what my divisor simplifies. Sorry, 14, not 14, 13 into 7 factorial. This is what my divisor becomes. Now, I need to find the remainder when 14 into 7 factorial plus 14 into 13 factorial is divided by 13 into 7 factorial. This is what the remainder has to be found out. I'm going to make it two different terms. Remainder of 14 into 7 factorial divided by 13 into 7 factorial plus remainder of 14 into 13 factorial divided by 13 into 7 factorial. Okay, this is what we have to find out. So this is what we had to find out. Now, from here, I can take out 7 factorial as common. 7 factorial goes out, remainder of 14 divided by 13 and plus this second term 13 into 7 factorial and 14 into 13 factorial. Whole of this is going to be cancelled out because when we will open 13 factorial, this will be 13 into 12 into 11 into 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 factorial and so on. So 7 factorial goes out, 13 also goes out. This second term is not going to give me any remainder. This becomes 0. But the first term is going to give me a remainder. So first term is going to give me a remainder as 7 factorial into remainder of 14 divided by 13 becomes 1. Overall remainder becomes 7 factorial. My answer is option D, 7 factorial. Next question. How many different integers can be expressed as the sum of three distinct numbers from the set of 3, 8, 13, 18, and so on? Some numbers are given to me. Okay. Minimum sum of three distinct numbers. If we talk about minimum sum is 3 plus 8 plus 13. That is going to be the. So here, how many different integers can be expressed as the sum of three distinct numbers from the set? That is what we had to find out. Okay, so important thing here is numbers that are given to us 3, 8, 13, and all of that. Minimum sum that can be obtained is going to be sum of 3, 8, and 13. Minimum sum becomes 24. Now all the numbers given are in a AP. Every number given is in a AP with common difference equals to 5. That is what is given. So their sum will also increase with a common difference of 5. Last sum here, or the largest sum, would be 38 plus 43 plus 48. Comes out to be 129. Common difference is going to be D, because if the numbers are increasing by 5, the sum will also increase by 5. So number of different sums that are going to be possible becomes 129, highest sum minus minimum sum, divided by 5, whatever the answer is, plus 1. This becomes 22. Different sums are going to be 22. Next question. Two-thirds of balls in a bag are blue, rest are pink. 5/9 of the blue balls and 7/8 of the pink balls are defective. Find the total number of balls in the bag. That the number of defective balls is given to us already. Okay. Now, thing here is, let's the total number of balls, let them be x. Blue balls becomes 2x by 3 and pink becomes x by 3. Next thing, number of non-defective balls. Number of non-defective balls, 5/9 of the blue balls are defective and 7/8 of the pink balls are defective. Non-defective becomes 1 minus 5 by 9 into 2x by 3, that is 4 by 9 into 2x by 3, 8x by 27. Because if total number of ball is x, 1 minus whatever the number is given to us, that will be non-defective. Similarly, if we talk about pink, 7/8 of the pink are defective, 1 minus 7 by 8 into x by 3 becomes x by 24. These many are non-defective. Okay, total number of non-defective is given to us is 146. So 8x by 27 plus x by 24 equals to 146. If we do this, solving this would give the value of total number of balls. X comes out to be 432. Just to solve this one equation, one variable, we get the value. It is 432. Answer is option C. Next, person walks at 4 km per hour for a particular duration t1, 3 kilometers per hour for another duration t2, covers a total distance of 36 kilometers. If he walks at 4 km per hour for the duration of t2 and interchanging is given, then the distance covered becomes 34 only. What will be the time taken by him to cover the one of the legs given? Okay, now as for the question, 3t1 plus 4t2, this gives 34, and 4t1 plus 3t2, this gives 36. This is two equation, two variable. We know how to solve this. When we will solve these two equations and two variables, t1 comes out to be 6 and t2 comes out to be 4. What would be the time taken by him to cover the one of the legs? Time taken to cover one of the legs comes out to be t1 plus t2, that is 6 plus 4. Answer is 10 hours, option C. Next, in how many ways can the letters of English alphabet be arranged so that there are 7 letters between the letter A and B and no letter is repeated? Okay. The 7 letters can be arranged between A and B, can be selected in 7 letters that we need to select. And it is between A and B. So they can be selected as, out of, I just don't have to select these two remaining. If it is 26, these two cannot be selected. I have 24. So selecting 7 letters out of 24 becomes 24C7. Okay, since repetition is not allowed, now the letters can be arranged. Arrangement, if we talk about how they can be arranged, they are going to be arranged in 7 ways, because that is 7 places and 7 alphabets. Now A and B can also be arranged. A and B can also be interchanged. They can be arranged in 2 ways. So total number of ways becomes 24C7 into 7 factorial into 2. But options are given with respect to P. So I know NCR into R factorial. This is actually equal to NPR. So I can write this as 24P7 into 2. I can write as 2 factorial. My answer is 24P7 into 2 factorial or 2, which is option A. Okay, next. After 6 years, Raju's father's age, okay, will be twice that of his age, and 2 years ago, his mother's age was twice that of Raju's age. What is the sum of Raju's parents' age? Okay. Let the age of Raju, his father, and his mother, let they be R, F, and M. Let these be the ages. According to the question, F plus 6 equals 2 into R plus 6. First question, first equation. Now, F equals to 2R plus 6. This will come out from here. Just solving it. Now, M minus 2, as per the question given, is equals to 2 into R minus 2. M comes out to be 2R minus 2. This is second equation. Now, if I will add both of them, I'll add this first equation and this second equation. F plus M comes out to be 4R plus 4. So, it is actually 4 more than 4 times Raju's age. My answer is option C. Next, in a simple subtraction problem below, some single digits not necessarily distinct are replaced by letters. Find the value of 6a plus 5b plus 2 into c into d. So we'll have to look at some subtraction that is given to us already. Alright, now 5 cannot subtract 7 directly, so obviously I have a carryover from here. So it's actually 15 minus 7 is equals to d. D value comes out to be 8 directly. D is 8. Now C has given out a carryover. That means this becomes C minus 1. C minus 1. Now, whatever the number is, it has become a smaller number. It has to subtract C and give it some value. So, C, I'm also assuming it is having a carryover. This becomes 10 plus C minus 1. Minus 6 comes out to be 6. Value of C from here comes out to be 3. Okay, C is their value is 3. Now, 1 has given out a carryover. That means this becomes 1 minus 1. Obviously, B cannot directly be subtracted. It needs a carryover from A. 10 plus 1 minus 1 minus B equals to 5. Value of B comes out to be 5 from here. Okay, now A is obviously given out carryover becomes A minus 1, and A is not going to get a carry from somewhere, so this becomes A minus 1 comes out to be 6. Value of A becomes 8. Okay, 6 into A. 6 into A is 6 into 8 becomes 48 plus 5 into B. 5 into 5, 25 plus 2 into C into D. 2 into C. C is 3. 2 into 3 is 6. 6 into 3 is 48. When I will add all of these, my answer comes out to be 6 into 8 plus 5 into 5 plus 2 into 3 into 8 comes out to be 121. My answer is option A.